So hello, Sandra. Thanks so much for joining me today. It's really good to
Hi,
see you.
Siobhan.
Could I just get you to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hello, hi, I'm Sandra. I'm Austrian and my business is called Stressfree Weddings by SandraM, and it's focusing on destination weddings in Austria.
Great. And what was your background, Sandra? What led you to come to do the wedding planning course?
So basically, I've been working in event management for, well, more than 10 years. I studied international business in Austria, and right after that, I moved to London. So I've been living in London for more than 12 years. And yeah, after working in the sports events industry, in the software industry, I decided it's time to be my own boss, basically. And I was looking for something where I could combine living in London, but also having a life in Austria, working with international people, but also bringing Austria to the world and show everyone how beautiful it is. And also wanted to stay working in events because I really, really enjoy it. And so, yeah, it came down to weddings and then more focused on destination weddings in Austria. And the very first idea of that came up last year in June. So I was playing around with my thoughts, and then I had an idea for a domain. I secured the domain, and I kept on thinking, and I was like, okay, I need a great website because this is how I sell myself. But it always sounds better when you can also say, I have done a certain certificate. So I started doing some online research, and I mean, there's a lot out there, and I'm sure to say that a lot of that is not that great. And I nailed it down to a few courses I found, and the main reason why I decided for this course, oh, actually there were two reasons. First of all, I wanted to do it in London. So this for me was the most important thing. I've been living there forever, plus having the name the Event School London is definitely easier to sell to international people than a tiny school in Austria. So for me, it was important to show internationality through this as well. And then I got in touch, and another reason why I decided for that was because you could choose between doing a weekly course, which would have been 8 Mondays, or 1 week. So I'm traveling quite a lot. I have a busy life. And so for me, it was like, okay, the 1 week, this is exactly what I want and need. And I sent out an email to the event school, and Maria got back to me, and she was so helpful. She explained everything. And then I said to her, because I set up my business on the 1st of September, I was like, can I have the invoice dated after the 1st of September? She said yes to that. And she was just so helpful, so accommodating. So from the very beginning, I was sure that I made the right choice. And yeah, so these were the two main things. When the course then actually started, I knew straight away it was the right decision, because I'm always quite critical. And for me, it has a lot to do with, do I like someone? But it was a very small group. We were only 4 students, and then with you as a teacher. And it felt like a small family for a week. Everyone was friendly, and there was a good working together, I would say. So this definitely was enough for me to say it was the right choice. And obviously the contents.
Good. No, that's great to hear. And after the course, what did you feel the main benefits were, or what did you particularly take away from it? Because obviously you were sort of not totally new to the industry and already knew what your end goal was, which was setting up your own company. You were underway with it. So how do you think that applied to you? What did you get from the course in that respect?
So, I mean, I have to say, regarding event management, I wasn't surprised, because, yeah, this is what I'd done for more than 10 years before. So it would have been a shame for me if I had heard something new. What I really, really took out of the course were maybe, let's say, 3 things. Most important one is the Anglo-American approach you taught us regarding commission. So basically, I'm introducing Austria to something completely new. And it's hard work, I can tell you, but I'm making my way through it. And also, you kept talking about social media. I mean, I knew before that it was important, no doubt, but I have to say, I didn't realize that with this business, I have to be even more out there. As a private person, I wouldn't necessarily do it, but I just have to put my wedding planner hat on and see it as a portal to the world, right? And number 3, well, besides visiting all these amazing venues in London, which is just great to go in there and get a bit of behind the scenes, also the stressing about get a good website. I mean, I'm sure you can remember, I had my website and I built it myself, which I was proud of. But then over the course of December, January, I got the website coded. I mean, content and the looks are pretty much the same, but now it's built on a good base. I've added so much since then, and I taught myself so much about SEO. And I have to say, now it starts working, right? So with a few keywords, I'm already on page 1 in Google. And yeah, so it's good to see that actually something is coming out of it.
Of course, yeah. Sometimes I think with that sort of work, the SEO and social media, etc., you feel sort of you're hammering away and not often able to quantify the return from it.
Absolutely, yeah.
But it does pay off in the long run, and is important. Yeah. And rightly so. Also, you've got all the foundation work done to support your business.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's up and running.
Yeah.
So obviously the great news, it's interesting to hear a bit more about your company, but the great news is you've already now got 2 bookings, which is super. So tell us a little bit about how you've now established Stress-Free Weddings, or Weddings in Austria. You've got your 2 names, haven't you?
Yes, of course. So as I said, I set it up last summer. So almost in business for a whole year. So the idea behind is really to bring international people to Austria. I realized that in the past, there was high demand for beach weddings. People were going to Cyprus, were going to Greece, were going to the Caribbean. And in the last years, I feel like there's a lot more tendency towards mountain, towards winter weddings, towards snow. And Austria has a lot of that. Especially now with COVID-19, I think in the future, intimate weddings will be playing a more important role. So I want to focus on smaller weddings for international customers and really do all the work for them. So this means people get in touch, they tell me what they want. And because I'm native Austrian, I definitely know more hidden gems than you can find on the internet. And this really should be, the hidden mountain hut or the beautiful lake where you can have a ceremony there, or even a mountain or the highest glacier in Austria where you can have a civil ceremony right there. I did a lot of research online, and I just realized that it can't be found. A lot of these websites don't even have an English version, so it's just even no English keywords are then finding them, or people who own the business there don't speak English. So there's really no way a couple from London, from New York, from California is able to get in touch and then actually plan something beautiful. And so the idea is I'm the middleman. I find middle woman. I find all these places. I find all the service providers, and we do exactly what we do right now. We have online. We have calls. Some couples who can afford it, they come to Austria for a week to meet up with the venue providers, with the service providers. Others just really trust me, and I make a lot of decisions. And then when the day comes, hopefully everything comes together, and they will never forget it.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's great. And Austria is such a beautiful country, and obviously, you just as you said, you've got a multitude, such a variety of venues, haven't you? That maybe people don't necessarily think about.
Absolutely, yeah. There is everything. There's castles, there's palaces, so you can be the princess if you want to be. But you can go for an elopement, only the two of you, up the mountain and celebrate with a beautiful view. Or you just combine the two, right? You have maybe a welcome dinner one evening in a rusty hut with the view of a lake, and the next day you all dress up in your gowns and you have the official ceremony in a palace. So you can have pretty much everything.
And how easy is it to get married in Austria, Sandra?
Very easy. So basically there's no need that you are a resident in Austria. If you want to have a free ceremony with a celebrant, of course you can have this any day of the week, 365 days a year. If you want to have an official ceremony in a registry or with a registrar in a beautiful place, it really depends on the registry office. It's depending on each of them. So for example, in Vienna, you're only able to book a date 6 months in advance, and they actually allocate the date. On the other hand, in Salzburg, you can do the booking online, and you should really be quick because it's fully booked more than 12 months in advance. So it really, the best is to get in touch. If you have an idea where you want to get married, we then, nail things down and figure out what is the best for you. And yeah, in general, if you get married in a small village, or meaning maybe on a mountaintop, but the official registry is in a small village, a few months are always required, especially for Fridays, Saturdays. If you're more flexible and want to get married, or you don't care and you are fine with getting married on a Tuesday or Wednesday, really we can set something up within 2 or 3 months. Everything else, I highly recommend to get in touch at least 9 or 12 months in advance.
Right, yeah, which is a realistic time frame as well, isn't it? It's a nicely paced amount of time to plan a wedding over, and also then it gives the opportunity for the couple to maybe plan one visit over before the wedding if they can do.
But regarding documents, it's super easy, most of them, except when you send them over via mail. So that's absolutely fine. The only thing most of them want to do is you have to go there in person the day before the wedding, basically to say, hi, I actually do exist. We do want to get married. And that's about it. A lot of them speak English, but some of them do want to have a translator. So some registries actually, they need an official translator. So this has to be arranged. In the countryside, they're a bit more flexible. So it's also possible that I go with you and I'm the translator. So it really depends. Again, we have to figure these things out when we know where it's going to happen.
Exactly, and that's what you do, is to plot it all out for them and guide them through the whole process. No, I'm delighted that it's taken off and that you're underway despite the current situation with the pandemic, that you've got bookings for later on this year, and look forward to seeing you back in London sometime soon as well.
Well, me too, I can tell you.
Thanks for doing this, Sandra.
Thank you.